Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I look really tired, don't I?
Not as tired as me.
I don't know. It's we've been doing, I think, a little bit more than we normally would do. I think because of the nice weather. I was outside yesterday. I went for a bike ride, a big bike ride yesterday, helping my husband in the backyard doing his stuff. Actually, I was sitting and had my white hat on, and I was looking good, husband. Do that over there, kind of situation. Yeah, that's what I do. Now do this over here. No, you missed a spot over here. That's how we work together in the backyard. He likes it, but I think anyways. I shouldn't say that too quickly. It's like, yeah, whatever, woman.
Yes,
but yeah, it was a busy day. It was it seemed like getting up early and doing all that stuff, and then all that fresh air. It was good to
get to bed.
Some sleep that night. Oh, I was up late last night doing calls and busy. But that's okay. That's what we want. That's what I like anyways.
That's excellent. Yeah. I don't know, I'm just like, today is a slow day, my head is just understanding the lockdown, understanding who and what, when, why, where, and how. And I didn't get to walk this morning because I slept in and had to get here because I forgot everything here. So anyway.
Oh, yeah, you're at the office.
I'm at the office. Yeah. So, and there's no cat crawling all over me here at the office either. Yes, and no dog barking. That just makes me crazy. It'd be like the kid that's going, Mom. That's exactly what she's doing. She heard my kids do it too much.
Yeah.
Mom.
You miss the kids. Here I am.
I don't. Yeah. No. All good. So today, I missed your live yesterday, and I know you were so excited about it. So you have been so fortunate to be part of a new sort of functional nutrition aspect, right? You've been looking at that, and I've encouraged you because it's like you're darn too nerdy about everything, so you best be doing that.
I'll take that as a compliment. Nutrition nerds, here we are. Well, you are too in certain things. I mean, it's just what it really excites me because it just resonates and it makes so much sense for a lot of things I find. And like I know with you with the hormone situation, I find it a little taunting, although, I study it and pretty much understand it. But the thing is, it's just like, it's like sports medicine. It's just not my thing. It's just not the thing that I would really, I understand it. I've studied it, but it's just like, I don't want to go there. And I know that's the how you are with the hormone situation and that whole end of things, women's health and whatnot. Me, it's a metabolic dysfunction. It's metabolic metabolism. And the issues that actually come about as a result of that. So I've been talking more and more about that recently. And I wanted to continue that conversation a little bit this morning because I know I got the yesterday, which I loved.
And
yep. Okay, Wendy, that's it. We're done.
Well, because it just, I could see it. Your like eyes changed. They're like, oh, and I'm like, oh, she's going into that mode. Okay, we'll wait and save that.
So anybody that sees that little signal, it's time for Wendy to shut it down. Or she gets ramped up too far.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, there she goes. Yeah. But yeah, because
you would have quite a quiet person. And most times it's hard for me to get going, but you get me going and that's it. That's especially about things that I'm passionate about. And this is one of them. So actually I wanted to continue a little bit from where we left off yesterday.
Yes, absolutely. I was so excited about it. And I'm eager to hear about it as well, because I know you were going to give me the Coles notes after all your studying was done. And it's an extensive course. So, yeah.
It is pretty extensive. And I mean, it's only just one part of it. There's like several different avenues and issues that have to be addressed with this, as I am creating a program at this point to address a lot of this issues with my clients as well too. So And it's an individualized program, and it's a very exclusive program that only I'm going to take maybe about 5 clients on at a time with regards to it. So I just wanted to actually go over, I've got my notes in front of me here, major contributors to this metabolic dysfunction. So we all kind of know like what the term is, and metabolic dysfunction is one of those ones that involves a lot of different hormones, not the same ones, not the sex hormones so much as the ones you deal with, but insulin. And when we're looking at metabolic dysfunction, we're looking at insulin resistance, we're looking at cortisol, we're looking at that whole storm of combination of hormones just like going crazy. They're having a party, to be honest with you. And then we end up with the imbalances and this dysfunction. I'm just looking for some more notes. This dysfunction that really causes a lot of issues downstream. And when we're looking at contributing factors with regards to the metabolic dysfunction, we're looking at extremely high glycemic diet. So this is one of the ones that, because we're taking in very refined sugars, so table sugar, high fructose corn syrup, a lot of these processed sugars, they get rapidly digested in and absorbed straight into the bloodstream. Depending upon the type of sugar it is, fructose actually gets metabolized in the liver. And then we have a spillover from that, and it goes straight into adipose tissue. So when we're taking a lot of high fructose corn syrup or just fructose sugars, we are, we're just setting ourselves up for added weight gain, and the added weirdness that goes along with that too, because when we have a lot of adipose tissue or fat tissue, that sets up the process of having estrogen being produced. They actually end up producing a lot more estrogen in our body, which causes the whole end of storm where you're concerned. But when we're looking at sweetened beverages and fruit juice, refined grains, so all our baked goods, sweetened foods, and excessive intake of the fructose, like I was saying, the high fructose corn syrup, it is going to be setting yourself up for some really big issues as well. And I've got a whole list, so that's just number 1. Highly processed foods. So this is another one of the ones that we talk about a lot. But when we're talking about highly processed foods, we're talking about a lot of our baked goods, anything that's been processed like beyond and doesn't look like what Mother Nature intended it to look like. So we end up actually decreasing the availability of minerals such as chromium, and that's one of the big ones that we talk about with regards to blood sugar stabilization. Biotin and magnesium, which is another one that's really, really lacking in so many of us these days. And these are all critical for maintaining healthy insulin sensitivity and increases ingestion of inflammatory chemicals. So when we have highly processed foods in our body, where this actually decreases the availability, first of all, but then also because we have these decreased minerals in our body and nutrients, we end up having poor insulin reaction. So going towards insulin sensitivity and insulin resistance as a result too. So other inflammatory trans fats, trans fats are part of that inflammatory process as well too. So they're extremely processed fats, and or excess levels of refined seed oils too can both impair the insulin sensitivity at the cell membrane level. And when we look at cell membranes, their membranes themselves, they're like little sacs. If you think of it like a little sac or a little bubble, it is a lipid membrane. It's a fat membrane. So when we have when we impair the insulin sensitivity, the cell membrane with these fats, it's doubly going to be an issue there too. Stress. So we've talked about stress a lot. stress increases our cortisol levels and or the adrenaline levels in our bodies and increases blood sugar separate from diet. This is where I started yesterday. And I was saying, like, it doesn't matter if you could be eating the best meals all day long, all month long, whatever. You are a stressed person, like we all are right now. It is going to raise blood sugar levels as well too. So it is a separate entity onto its own because it doesn't require diet manipulation to be able to help. You need to be able to learn how to decrease your stress levels separate from diet altogether to be able to decrease that. So steroids or drugs increase the growth hormone action and also may contribute to stress as well too in the body. Genetics is another major contributor to metabolic dysfunction as well too. So innate levels of insulin secretion and insulin sensitivity in specific cell types can actually be another reason towards metabolic dysfunction. But then again, we talk about that loaded gun. So genetics is that loaded gun, and our environment is that trigger that we have that choice about whether we want to pull or not. Oxidative stress and toxicity. So again, you're going to get your oxidative stress through your high glycemic diet, through your processed foods, through stress. And this has a myriad of problems at the cellular level as well too. And it can include water or lack thereof, or food or air or stress. These are all things that can really contribute to the oxidative damage of the free radicals that we are toxified in all the time. Age, unfortunately, is one of the major contributors to metabolic dysfunction as well too. So innate insulin resistance increases with age, especially at muscular cells. So again, really important for consistent movement, consistent exercise, moving of the body, and allowing to make sure that we have proper muscle. And I was just talking about this in our group with regards to movement. And then, because when we do exercise, essentially what we're doing is, and this is very, very basic. Again, I'm not a science nutritionist by any means, but we rip the cells and then we put them back together again. And we rip them and we put them back together again. But to be able to repair the muscle cells, we have to have essential amino acids. And because they are the building blocks, the protein, they come from protein, and they're the building blocks for muscle repair. So we're making sure that we have a lot of that in the system too. So again, just sliding right into the fact that a lack of exercise is a contributor to metabolic dysfunction because it reduces insulin receptor sensitivity. So we're just minimizing the utilization of fuel, and we end up having too much too much sugar in our system, and it's not getting utilized. And if our adipose tissues are filled already with sugar, or all our tissues are filled with sugar, where does that sugar go? Then it has no place else to go, and then our cells become decrease their ability to uptake sugar. So that sugar just stays in our system and causes a lot of inflammation and toxicity.
It's a crazy cycle, that's for sure.
Yeah. Essential fatty acid deficiency. So again, when we're talking about our omegas and our lovely healthy fats all the time, if we have a deficiency, this impairs cellular membranes as well too, because that cell wall is made of fat. It's a lipid membrane, and insulin receptor sensitivity as well too gets affected. So medications as well too can be a contributor to metabolic dysfunction too. So corticosteroids, some hypertensive drugs, diuretics, beta blockers, different things like that, some antipsychotics and statins. These are all contributors, or can be contributors to a metabolic dysfunction. Just as an example, diuretics can deplete magnesium and reduce insulin sensitivity. So again, not allowing that insulin to do the job that it needs to do. And just low energy is one of the major contributors, but it's one of those came first, the chicken or the egg kind of situation. Because when we begin to have the beginning signs of metabolic dysfunction, and again, it's not something like one day we're good, the next day we're pre-diabetic, the next day after that, or and a time after that we're diabetic. It's not one day we're good, the next day we're not. It's a spectrum, and it's in a spectrum that can happen over a decade, if not more, of this type of lifestyle. And it really works up towards that final diagnosis. And the diagnosis, unfortunately, is the spot where it's they've already put you in like that really bad situation. So this is where you have a diagnosis. But hopefully with a lot more information out there, physicians can start really looking at the whole spectrum and looking at the whole situation of contributing factors, your lifestyle habits, food intake, all these different things, genetics, all these different things that I'm talking about, and say, okay, look, you're heading in this direction. Maybe we should make some shifts in your lifestyle and your diet and stuff like that. And that's where this kind of program is starting off. And this is where my frame of mind is really coming into play again. And when I'm getting back to the chicken and egg situation, is the fact that if you are in pre-diabetic situation, if you're in that very beginning stages and you have really low energy, this could be a signal towards the fact that you are heading in that direction. But also having low energy from other issues, so hypothyroidism, adrenal fatigue, hormone imbalance, this, having greater cravings as well too, emotional and psychological, for refined foods, lower metabolism, sedentary habits. These can be all contributing factors towards that as well too. So it's like it's just a big soup of nastiness that is potentially.
It's an exciting cycle when you're kind of ending up putting all the pieces together, and there's light. There becomes this light at the end of the tunnel, right? So rather than just always feeling that chaos, there can be some logic to the whole thing, right?
And I mean, it just makes sense for me, anyways. In my my mixed up brain, it just makes sense to me that when you look at the big picture and we look at the spectrum of things, and my main focus is always on preventative measures. It's not just about losing weight. It's not just about having a six pack. It's not just about specific individual isolated situations. It's about the big picture. And what is the big picture? Well, we're trying to keep you as healthy as possible, keeping that longevity going, keeping that having a wonderful, healthy lifestyle into our 80s and 90s and 100s, and not having to worry about situations, a genetic predisposition, cancers as a result, hormonal situations. All of these, we're trying to prevent that. And because we know it's a spectrum for a lot of this stuff, we can start at the early stages and start to recognize what those indicators are, just by your current diet intake. Even though you say, wow, I'm 30 years old, that's so far away. I don't care about it. I'm still going to eat, take out 3, 4, 5 times a week and not give a shit. And I'm going to be binging, drinking on the weekends, and I'm going to be doing this, and I'm going to be doing that. And I don't have to work out and all these different things. I mean, I was 30. I get it. I mean, we were all there at one point, or at least this generation was. And I'm just trying to offer that opportunity to say, okay, so now that you're in your 40s, what's going on? Where do we need to change things? Where do we want to really catch it again before it gets too bad? And it's reversible. I mean, I'm going to put it out there. We maybe can talk about myths tomorrow with regards to it, but metabolic dysfunction is reversible. Diabetes is reversible. Type 2 diabetes. These things can be fixed, and it's a matter of somebody being very consistent, being very committed, and understanding that it's a lifestyle shift. It's not going to happen in a month. It's not going to happen in, a quick ketogenic diet. This is a lifestyle shift and a change towards the better.
That's right.
For the rest of your life. And that's, I think you and I both really kind of strive for, is that preventative medicine, that preventative, and we're saying medicine in the form of natural products, natural foods, natural sunlight, natural walking in the air, fresh breathing techniques, all these different things. And using that as the word for medicine. But it's imperative as far as I'm concerned. And because metabolic dysfunction is at a premium and epidemic forms in our society, this is why quick fix programs are so illuminating and so, what's the word I'm looking for? So tempting, I guess,
Yeah.
because we want a quick fix, and there's nothing wrong with that, I guess. But there's an understanding that, there's there's always going to be a side effect of a quick fix. There's always going to be a side effect of a Tylenol that, fixes your headache real quickly. There's always going to be a side effect to something that's going to be a quick fix. And if you're willing to do that, that's fine. That's where you want. But when I'm working with my clients, I really am wanting to make sure that people understand it's not a quick fix, and it's hard work, and it's something that's extremely worth it. And what's 3 months, 4 months out of your life, to really
make a change for prevention, right?
For a lifetime. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And really change the course of your trajectory, your health.
Well, I mean, when you're doing the full body thermography, you see that. You see those physiological changes on the body where you are challenged with blood sugars or challenged with hypertension, cardiovascular issues. And so there is a very evident phenomena that we see. And then again, it's driving you back to, okay, you need to get to the root of the issue. You need to understand how and where and how, when and who, and all of that great stuff to change that chaos. Yeah, metabolic chaos. So.
Yep. Yeah. And that's, I mean, from our perspective, it's not an easy go sometimes, but it is something that you really definitely have to consider. The stuff that you're taking in on a regular basis. There's tons of different supplements out there. There's tons of different, protein shakes. There's all kinds of products out there. The products that you and I promote are premium products. Like, they're like the elite, and they've been researched. They've been, double blind tested. They NSF approved by Health Canada. These are things that are just, there's nothing, you can't find anything wrong with them. Nothing wrong with them. And if you can find something wrong with them, you're going to come to me, and you're going to come to Dana, and, you're going to say, well, look, whatever, ask questions, and, research it for yourself, because you want the best products for yourself. You want the best of the best. And that's what Dana and I want for you too. We want you guys to have the best of the best, because we want you to thrive. We want you to excel in your health and make a shift for a lifetime. Because the alternative is what? You want to go there? The alternative is not pleasant. And nobody deserves that. Nobody deserves that. And one of the things I just wanted to say right now, especially with this new legislation, or this new, whatever you want to call it, that has been laid out yesterday for us in Ontario, don't stress about it. Use this opportunity to do something for yourself that you would never do normally. Try some new foods when you go to the grocery store, because we can't spend too much time in there, because we've got a lot of little old ladies hanging out on the outside that they're not allowing in. We don't want to dilly-dally in there. We, look for some really cool foods, something new. Plan out your recipes for the week. Make sure you have a list when you go into the grocery store, so you get your stuff, boom, 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 and then you get out. Yesterday, I had to go to the drugstore. I rode my bike there. That was, do these kinds of things, because we have that opportunity to do it. We have the extra time now, and it's a perfect opportunity, even just for the month, to try something new. Incorporate more walking on a daily basis. It's springtime now. It's beautiful weather. Get outside, get some sunshine, get some fresh air, get that mask-free moment every couple of hours when you're working. Get yourself some fresh air. Take the mask off when you're not around anybody. Breathe some fresh air. Release those toxins. Put your mask back on. Go back to work. Forget about the drive-through, but look towards restaurants and support restaurants that are offering you really healthy options. Call ahead, get takeout if you're really busy and you can't, it's not that convenient for you to make and cook every night. Take these opportunities to really look after yourself.
It's important. Yeah,
and turn it around. Look at this as an opportunity. We stress on the fact that it's bad and it's horrible and it's against us and everything else. Then what happens then? Our stress levels raise, our cortisol levels raise. We're going to get fatter. We're going to get depressed. We're going to, this is unprecedented times. And if we allow it to get us down, then we are doing ourselves a disservice. Mr. Ford doesn't care, he doesn't care. I mean, take advantage of this time. And
I think, exactly. I think so. And you just have to breathe. Stop and breathe, please. Yeah.
And, if your body seems good and you're okay with that, work on something else that's really going to benefit you. Read a book, a real book. Get a real book. Go to the bookstore. If you can get in there. I don't know if they're open or closed, but borrow a book from a friend. Last resort, get one on Amazon if you have to. Get a real book and read it. Work on your spirituality. Try some meditating, even if it's a couple of minutes a day. All these different things that you've never done that you say, well, yeah, I know I should be doing it, but I'm not. Give yourself a chance to do that right now. This is the opportunity to really focus in on you as a person, as an individual in this collective chaos that we tend to be going through right now. And I think if we individually really focus in on ourselves, I think the collective will be a lot better for it.
Yeah.
How profound is that?
Yeah.
I know, because there's actually been studies that scientific studies. I think that collective prayer groups, collective meditation groups, they do raise the vibration, and when we can do it on a physical level as well too, by taking care of ourselves, eating really clean, organic, fresh fruits and vegetables, whole foods, like we're talking about in my private group this month, and and getting that fresh air and exercise outside, that free medicine, that it will do everybody a big service. Smile more. We can't get close to people right now, but even outside when I was biking yesterday, I have my helmet on, my glasses, and then my earphones on, and everybody that went past, I just give them a little smile. We can't say
too much. A little wave.
Yeah.
Hello. How do you do?
You do what you can, and people kind of, when you're outside and you're walking, people look at you and give them a silly smile, or I passed a kid on the bike and I'm like this, and she kind of looked at me like, weird lady, but it gave her a little smile too, and her mom's was like, hey, who's this lady? But it's all good. It's all we just have to keep our vibrations high, and and we do that by taking care of ourselves ultimately. So
beautiful.
I think that's it for today. I think that's my rant for today. I'll probably find something later though. I have to rant some more later.
Of course, there's so much today to rant about. But it's okay. We'll be like, we'll be fine. It'll be all good. It'll be good.
Yeah. So
we'll just collectively pray for everybody.
Yeah. That's all we can do.
Beautiful. Okay, well, everyone have a great day today. Join us again tomorrow. I'm live again today at 3, and Wendy's live now. And she's live all during the course of the day. And if you have questions, get in contact with us. And yes,
We'll chat again soon. Take care. If you guys have any questions, let me know. We'll talk.
Awesome.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.